Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of B to Z. This morning, it's June 14, and going to look over one of the splits that I made recently, about 3 days ago, and see if they have any queen cells that have been made so far. I don't expect them to be capped yet because it's only been 3 days, but want to make sure that they're progressing in the right direction to make sure that they are going to become a queen right hive. If there's no queen cells right now, then I can grab another frame of eggs or very young larvae and put it into that hive from another hive. Don't want to wait a month and notice then that they never had a chance of becoming queen right if today they don't have any uncapped queen cells. So that's going to be the goal for today, is to look at this hive. So while we set up to do that, go ahead and take a moment for me, please, and like and subscribe. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, and let's go inspect that hive. Let's go ahead and just get this guy started real quick. It's been raining quite a bit lately. But I'm gonna use some of this green stuff as well. And we'll grab some more pine needles. Yeah, we'll throw a cone in there too, why not? There we go. Ready to rock and roll. All right, so this is going to be the hive that we're going to be looking at right here. So on the 11th, 3 days ago, we split this. We put eggs, and we made sure we had some very long larvae in it, according to my notes. So let's go ahead and open it up. And I went ahead and started feeding it right away as well. Give them a little puff of smoke real quick. I reduced their entrance quite a bit, which is what I like to do normally for splits. All right, I move this guy. There we go. All right. Looking on the inner cover, on the cover for anything, usually queen, but we know there's no queen in here. There's only a few bees on it. And get them back inside. See some ants. Not surprised due to that it's a pretty weak hive. Get the swifter off. And so let's go ahead and just open this up. Completely empty frame, just a few bees on it. Let's go ahead and pry apart the rest of these guys. Go. This was the frame I was expecting them to make some queen cells out of. And they did not so far. This was full of eggs. Just got a little bit of nectar in it. Let's go to the next one. Interesting. Let's see if the next one, can't remember exactly if the next one had eggs too. I see a queen cup. Right there. See a nice little hive beetle there. It's definitely full of nectar and capped honey. Trying to look inside that capped cell. I don't see anything there. Nope, no egg, no nothing. I see another one over here. And there's nothing in there either. So these guys have no chance whatsoever on creating a queen, even though I gave them that previous frame full of eggs. Nope, I don't see anything at all. So now I'm gonna have to go ahead and look for a frame that has some eggs in it that we can donate to this hive. Some nurse bees as well. Try to get this hive to be a little bit stronger. So let's go ahead and take it from this guy right here. They should have some eggs in one of their frames. Just looking for the queen. Don't see the queen on the cover. I try to go nice and slow so that you guys can see what I'm doing. See, they're drawing a little bit of wax there. And they're beginning to draw a little bit of wax there too. We have a nectar flow that starts with Brazilian pepper here in September. So I'm trying to feed them to try to keep them strong, keep that queen laying. So when that nectar flow really starts, I can throw on those supers and we'll see if we can get a fall honey crop here. Here's a frame that they started to build out. It's got tons of eggs, but it's all drone cells, so that's not gonna work. Let's look at the other side. Got some nectar and more drone cells with eggs in it. So this is not gonna work. Try to move nice and slow, prevent them from trying to get startled. And hopefully that'll reduce the amount of stings as well. As I get the stings, I'll go ahead and count them out for you guys. And here's another frame that they've drawn out. It's full of nectar right now. I see them carrying around some pollen as well. I see the queen on this frame. So this is going to be a perfect frame for the other hive. She is right there. And let's see if I can grab her. There we go. All right, she's down there. So we're going to grab this entire frame which is full of eggs and some bees. There you go. Full of eggs. It's also got some nectar up here in the right corner. It's got some here, more like capped syrup really. And then the other side is completely full of nectar. Most of these bees here are going to be nurse bees. And we'll go ahead and put this in the other hive. This gives them a little boost of bees, along with another chance of creating a queen. Let's get all these guys nice and put together, create the proper bee space. If we don't have the proper bee space, then that's when they will start to create all kinds of wonky comb. There we go. All right, and put the cover back on, put the swifter back on. We'll get them their feed back. We'll make a note on the actual hive. So today is the 14th of July. So no queen cells, and we added frame of eggs, frame eggs. Perfect. All right, so now I know what's going on there. We'll grab this other frame. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and make sure that their entrance is very reduced. And it is. Got a tiny little entrance, so we'll keep it that way. They're not very strong. So now we'll grab this frame and we'll give it back to the other guys, and they'll be able to draw that out. So now I have a nice frame here with no wax, no nothing. We're just going to go ahead and slip it right in here. It's going to take a look at a couple of, there's sting number one. Let me tell you, when they sting you, it is surprising. Make sure I got that stinger out, and I did. Thankfully, I don't get any kind of reactions from the stings. My wife, on the other hand, she does get a reaction, unfortunately. And so she has to be extra careful when she's out in the yard. So we got a nice fresh comb on this one too. This is all capped brood. Looks like they're creating a mixture of drone cells and some worker cells here, and then on this side, on the very edge of the top, we have a little bit of nectar there on this side. And this one's about 3/4 full of worker capped cells. There's still some uncapped cells and some drone uncapped cells as well. So I see, and this is a foundationless frame here. I can see that they're creating lots of drone cells. So I got to keep a close eye on these guys because they may want to try to swarm, because it seems like they're preparing for that by creating more drones. Not much of a nectar flow here, but you'd be surprised in Florida you'll get swarms all sorts of times. Nectar flow, no nectar flow. They're more inclined to swarm when there is a nectar flow, but I have certainly seen them swarm outside of nectar flows, for sure. We go, more cap brood there, worker brood. Let's see what's on that left side there. It's all eggs there as well. On the left side of the frame. On the right side of the frame in the bottom, it's all capped worker brood. And same for this one. Let's take a look at one more frame. When your operation is on a single hive brood box, you gotta be a little bit more careful with how much brood you're seeing. But typically about 8 frames of brood that's capped or with cells, it's time to either split them, or if it's the flow, go ahead and give them a box so that they can expand on. And here's another frame of mostly capped brood and eggs and larvae. And if we flip it over, it is more of the same. So far what I like is that there's no queen cups at all. So very strong hive. They've actually exploded in the last couple of weeks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 frames of cap brood that I've seen so far. And we took away a frame of eggs that was full of eggs on one side. Last week they had just 4 frames of brood. So nectar flow is not going to come for another month or so. So I've seen what I needed to see so far for today, and for the scope of this video initially was for that split. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this one closed back up. I did a mic check on this one yesterday, and I was thinking about splitting it yesterday, but it rained on me. I'll go ahead and close these guys up. There's sting number 2. Now yesterday I started inspecting from this side. I know that this last frame here on the left side is also still not drawn out at all. They started to draw on the second one from the left. And then on this side here on the right side, this second from the right is the initial one that I showed you, and it's got some drawn out comb. And then the last one on the outside doesn't have anything at all. So I'll come back in like about 3 days. I'll continue to feed them. And the plan is in 3 days, we're going to split this one. And so meanwhile, what I'll do is that I'll prepare some extra boxes to split them with. Let's go ahead and just squeeze them all together. Give them a little smoke. Go ahead and get them closed up. Try to work a little slow and methodical so that you guys can see what it is that I'm doing, and also to not disturb the bees. We'll go ahead and put back their feeder, which is almost empty, and put back this brick. If you don't know, we use this brick so that, for one, when the bucket is not there, it covers the hole on the top of the cover, and they'll propolize that hole against the brick to prevent anything from getting in. But when these buckets get empty, they're quite light. We do have some wind breakage here, a fence and some eurekas. But still, if the wind's coming from a different direction, it'll definitely topple over these empty buckets, and rain can get in there, and et cetera, et cetera. So, all right, so one more thing that we need to consider is how strong this hive is the entrance reducer there. So you can see how reduced that entrance is. And it was that reduced because they weren't very strong just a few weeks ago. So what I'm gonna do is make that entrance a little bit bigger and crack it open. And that alone increases that entrance size, or reduces it if you want to close it back up. So had some more in my hand, but I think that's plenty. The larger entrance is going to give them more area to be able to come in and out, less traffic jams, more aeration, better way of cooling down the hive. I haven't seen these guys beard at all so far, even though it's been super hot. It was about 106 yesterday, heat index. And the entrance was full of bees. They were fanning, but nothing else on the outside. Let's go ahead and write some notes here. July 14, 26 minus 1 frame, eggs. I saw the queen, I saw eggs, I saw larvae, and I'm gonna say 5 plus brood. There you go. And I'm just gonna put split question mark. And that's gonna kind of remind me that I was thinking about doing a split on this particular hive. Well, there you have it, guys. We inspected the hive that I split 3 days ago. They had no queen cells. So they were going to be hopelessly queenless for quite some time, even if I did not check. So this is why when I make a split, I like to go back 3 to 4 days later and make sure they actually have some queen cells that they're rearing. So, and at that point, they should be uncapped queen cells. They had some cups, but they were all empty. And that one frame that was completely full of eggs that I put in, that was drawn out on that split, for whatever reason, they didn't create a queen cells. So they do have food, they have nectar. We gave them a whole new frame of eggs. So let's see how they do. We'll go ahead and check those again in about 3 days. So again, don't forget, this way you can get the follow-up video. Go ahead and like and subscribe. And I'll see you back on the next one. And until next time, happy beekeeping. And thanks for joining B2Z.